SOLIDWORKS CAM 2019 is an ever-evolving program with some new enhancements to further simplify the machining process. Let's take a look to some of the updates that we now have in terms of defining our barrel type tools. In this operation, we have an end mill that comes down to this bottom face. However, the non-cutting portion of the tool intersects with some upper geometry. We can now modify the non-cutting portion to include either a tapered or a neck type. By modifying some of the parameters, we can see what the changes look like directly on the screen. So now we have a tool that is allowed to cut this geometry without intersecting any uncut portions up above. There are also some changes in feeds and speeds that allow us to adjust the tool's feed as it enters sharp corners or in arcs. This will allow us to run the overall feed rate higher without risk of breaking a tool in a corner when it engages a large amount of material. For 2019, the TechDB now has some updates. By taking a look at the default feature strategies, we can adjust feature strategies based on a certain operation type. For example, we can set up default strategies for a 4-axis rotary table. Let's make some changes to the rectangular corner slot to include an edge break operation, as well as a circular boss to use finish and edge break. We can save those changes, and then we can take a look at the 4-axis mill machine defined and modify its default feature strategies to include 4-axis rotary milling and use all of those default strategies that we created. Let's take a look at some more updates. In 2019 sees an update to how we handle end conditions. We can now adjust the end conditions of holes using a blind option and increase their lead in and lead out values without having to create any reference geometry to control that. When you're dealing with strict tolerances, you often might have to change the position of a hole based on some type of mid-tolerance value. In most cases, that'll require you to either manually modify the G-code or to go back and modify the model. But now, in 2019, we have an option that allows us to modify the toolpath location on the fly. By simply right-clicking on the operation we want to use, we can select the Move option, and this allows us to toggle its location based on our coordinate system. For example, in order to hit our tolerance value, we might need to move this operation 1 millimeter. These updates to SOLIDWORKS CAM 2019 are all geared towards making the machining process easier and more efficient for you.